Greetings, van journeyers. Welcome back to another Tux Traveler video. Well, every van build has its pluses and its minuses, and particularly the custom ones. Sometimes we do things really good and sometimes you're like, why did I do that? Well, today I want to talk about the 5 design choices that I really like in this van. Just the things that I put together. Some of these I came up with well before I started building the van. Some of them kind of happened a little serendipitously. But we're going to go ahead and talk today about the 5 design choices that I really like inside my custom built Ram Promaster. So my first excellent design choice is my built-in speaker system. So I have 4 speakers built directly into the wall. These ones up here are actually kind of my lower fidelity, and then down here I have some higher ones. So I put the lower ones as the better ones because as you're sitting here at the desk, you're going to be closest to the lower speakers, with the upper speakers behaving more like surround and extra, just kind of extra sound emanating from the different setups. Now, the way I have my speaker system working is we're running with this 2-channel hi-fi stereo amplifier. This guy is built to run directly off of a 12-volt system, so we have this guy tied just into a 12-volt fuse in the DC fuse box. I wired the speakers into the wall. I ran those out, and you can see where they're coming out right down here under this patch of wires. Actually probably easier to see over here, where I have the wires coming in one of these holes, and then they're up into this part here, and then they're down here, and it looks as though I probably have them wired in parallel. So I have those speakers there in parallel. Then this guy over here is connected to a ground loop isolator, which is up here. It's actually Velcroed to the top, so I can't take it down. Is it Velcroed? It is Velcroed. I can't take it down. There you go. There's a ground loop isolator there. And this is, you need to have a ground loop isolator when you have this many electronic components all connected this close proximity to each other. Because if you don't, what you're going to encounter is you're going to have a lot of pops and clicks and other things, interferences with your sound. The next thing I did is the ground loop isolator is connected over to this port, which is on a 4-point switcher. So these will control which computer system is outputting my sound. So this one here is my movie box. So this only does movies and music. This one here is just a spare cable. It's hooked up to an MP3 player or a spare phone, or anything else that I might want to use, and I have longer cables if I need to plug something else into that. Nice and easy to get to. This is my big PC that I use to process videos, and so I can easily pull that one up. And then this one is a all-purpose media PC that is frequently used. So that allows me to have a lot of flexibility with the sound, and it's all built right in, so I don't have to have extra speakers laying around, and that saves a little bit of just a little bit of foot space in the van. My number 2 excellent design choice was the sink. Now I'm using this guy here, which are very cheap. They're like $20. It is a battery powered sink setup, and they're actually designed to go on the top of the round, just kind of your standard water jugs. I didn't want to work with the water jugs, and we're actually running low in water. You can see it runs just fine. Turn it on and it'll go. We're running low in water in the top, and this is where I like my design and how I have this set up. First and foremost, let's talk about how this sink spout here is mounted. So looking at this guy here, what we have is, this is actually how the sink is mounted, and I actually just purchased this connector here, which is, I think it's a 2-inch connector, and you can see it has, this is just to give it just enough extra tightness, connected here. And then I got a, this is a 2-inch to 3-inch pipe mount here. And then what we did is I have these little hobby blocks. They're stainless steel hobby blocks, and I set these guys down inside of the hole and then fused this guy on top of it, and then I sealed it with some just some basic sealant there. And then I screwed these guys here into the side, so this will not go anywhere. This we could just easily lift up. You can see the hose down here. And then what we have under the sink for our water is we open this cabinet here up, we open this up, and then I have 2 of these jugs. This actually helps with the portability of the water. You can see I have stop written up here. This is because the very first time I changed the jug, I forgot to pull this out and it slices the tube. So fortunately there was enough tube in there that it didn't really matter much. So what I'm going to do here to swap these guys out, just kind of loosen this bungee. Now the top one is a little bit deeper than the bottom. I do have some issues with the bottom, that the bottom one here does actually move against the wall here, making a little bit of noise. It's not bad. I'm thinking I might be able to fix this in with a tighter type of pull, but we'll figure that out later. But for the meantime, the portability is nice. I just pull out this guy here, which locks this water jug into place. Make sure that our sink is completely removed, so I'm not going to cut off any of my hose. And now this guy here can be filled up anywhere I can take this jug to be filled, and I just keep its cap right next to it. So then what we're going to do next is that we're going to take out the bottom jug. Lift it up here, pull the cap off. And run it here. Now these jugs are about 40 pounds full of water. You're going to slide it down a little bit, just get it underneath those little hobby blocks. That'll lock it into place. And then reattach our mount. And set this guy back in place. Now that that's set back in place, we have water again. So now I have about another 5 gallons of water, and I have 1 empty 5-gallon jug. So I'll just be able to fill that up at convenience. And it takes me, usually right now it's taking me about a week and a half to 2 weeks to go through a single jug. Some of that's because I'm still in state college, where I know where all my resources are, and sometimes I'm using water other places that I find it rather than using the van water. So now when this is done, put these guys back into place, and these locking mechanisms, they suck for this. They're really good in other places I have in the van, but they're really bad for here. But there is my water. That is my second design choice that is excellent. My third excellent design choice is actually my cat area. This was something that took a little bit of innovation to figure out all the details. First, I have the sizing here cut out to be perfect for the box. It fits in here, it goes in, pushes down tight, and stays in and doesn't move at all, which is excellent. I measured the height of what the cats usually go to, which is good, and then you can see up here, there's some lights there. So what I did for this, you might also be able to hear it, but there's a fan. You can see it actually. There's a fan over here. And then right down about here, there is a motion detection block. And so what we did here is I ran some wiring over here on a single 5-amp fuse. And then we have a computer fan over here, which is routed back down around the tire and out the ventilation access port out back. So literally when a cat comes into the box, it triggers the motion alarm, turns on the light, and then turns on the fan, and then that will, for the time that the cat's back here, exhaust whatever's down here under the cat area outside of the van. Now I also have this guy here, which is, where's it at? Right here is an odor remover. So with the combination of the fan on the motion sensor, the odor there, the odor there, and just how the rest of the fans and such work in the van, the cat's area almost does not stink at all. Now, occasionally we have a little bioterrorist that comes on down and drops something nasty. On the few times that happens, I keep right up here some sandwich bags, and just like your dog out in the park, you fish out the stinky ones. The less stinky ones, I don't usually worry about because you don't smell them at all with this setup. But the stinky ones we got to take out. However, for the most part, this box works really well. The cats are not terrified by the fan. The lights go on for them, so even if it's dark or not, they can see a little bit better. And overall, it's a very nice system. And as I'm cooking and stuff, it blows extra fan on. That's okay as well. Very low power, but another excellent design choice. Back here in the bedroom, the cat is an amazing design choice. Oh wait, that's just a cat. So let's talk about my fourth design choice, and that is my USB charging system in the bedroom. So I have my phone is right now charging on the port right now as we're getting ready to film more video. You can see at the very top of that cabinet up there is where we have the USB port. So let's go ahead and open up the cabinet here, and we'll need to move the phone for that. We'll move that over into the section you're going to see here in a moment. Sorry, kitty. I dropped the phone on the kitty, though. So open this guy up. You can see that I have the USB port wired in right here. And you can see a little bit better that it's right down here. Of course, there's carpet on the top of this, as all my shelves have carpet, so I have USB ports. Now, this one here does not emit any color, which was important because nearly every USB port I found always has lights on them. You can see that one way in the back. That's actually where my runner lights are at. So there's my runner lights. Those are actually powered by that one, which again, all of those USB charging ports have lights on them. This is the only one I had to pay a little bit more to find a USB port that did not have lights on it. This one is always on. You can plug into that to charge anything off of USB. And then back here in the bedroom, I built this guy here out of this is for like a desk set or something. So you can see here where I have the system built here. So it was like a sticky pad block and a paperclip block at one point in time. Took it out, bent this guy down, screwed it onto my pegboard, and then I put a little piece of bungee there. This is actually the remote control for my heater. It just stays clipped there. But now the phone can sit right here, which at night sits right there upside down, can charge, or when it's not charging, I can just kind of put it the right way and I can easily access the phone from the bedroom here. You can also charge larger things and just use the top of the cabinet up there as well. So that is my fourth design choice. And my first design choice is my placement of my lights, which is why it's so dark in here right now. So I have lights in a series of places that are easy to get to. The first one is right over here. This is actually right by the sliding door. So if I'm moving things into the sliding door, I can reach right up here and I can turn on two bright LED lights that will light up the whole front of the van. In the back of the van, I have another set of these LED lights. And when all these guys are on, it is so bright in here, it's almost institutional. And I don't really like the institutional look. These are dimmable, but I don't have them wired to do that. In order to have dimmable lights in a better, more comfortable design, I did put dimmers under here. So there's two dimmer lights here, and then I have a third one over here in between these. So these will give me a very good illuminated desk, or sometimes when I'm late at night and I'm kind of working, just kind of keep them a little bit lower. It gives me just enough white light to see what I'm doing here, and then that gives me just enough illumination for the things that I need to do. So those are some excellent lights systems and light choices there. The next one is the best mood / comfort lighting, and that is the runner lights. So these, right now they're just kind of set to move through a variety of different colors. I can set them to anything on a single remote control, which is kind of in the back in that little cabinet back there. I usually just keep it on this mode. It's nice, calming mood lighting. This is usually what I'm doing. I do this and just some of these at night when I'm working to give me just a nice feel, and it's actually pretty low power as well. Now I have one more excellent light in here, and that is for the bedroom. So here is the bedroom, of course. I've good, nice, comfortable carpets on the walls. I can sit back in here, sit up in bed and read, and up here, there's a cat on the bed, so I'm being careful here. But we set up over here, and I have another light also on a dimmer. During the day, if I need a light back here for some reason, I can turn it on high. At night to read, just turn it on just enough that what you need. Now all of these dimmer switches here, here's a better one. All these dimmer switches here, these are way cheaper to get than your typical dimmer switches. They're more just basically circuit boards, and I mounted them onto 1-inch L brackets and just kind of put the knobs on here, and they work excellent. They're like $7 for 2 of them. So there is my light setup. So there we have my top 5 favorite things about the custom build that I have here in this van. Let me know what type of videos you would like to see next about living in the van, van life, or anything else that we have going on. Of course, subscribe to the channel and tell all of your friends. Thanks for watching, and we will see you a little bit further down the road.